What do you make of Lamont Wade? You've had him for 2 years now. He still hasn't established himself as a starter. Where do you see him now and in the future?
Well, Lamont continues to get better for us. You know, he's a major factor on special teams for us as a freshman and as a sophomore this past season. He's given us great depth this year in the secondary and continues to grow. And you know, obviously with the departure of Nick Scott, we're looking for Lamont to step up.
Safety is where you see him long term?
Yes.
How's the trip?
Trip's been fantastic. You know, we're in shorts. We haven't seen shorts for a few months. You know, we're just really appreciative to be down here in Orlando, and you know, it's been a great gift for us to come to the Citrus Bowl, and we're just enjoying the moment. And you know, our team is just getting ready day by day.
Obviously, there's a weird break between, say, the last game of the regular season and this bowl game here. So I guess getting back to this rigid practice schedule, where is there a certain spot you want to attack first? Is there a different way you approach it, or do you approach it like just any regular week?
Well, the way we prepared through December, you know, we kind of went through a couple cycles of what our normal game week would be, and then this week we treat it just like a normal game week. So today is, so to speak, kind of what a Monday would be, but we are usually off on Monday, so we treated it like a Sunday, and then tomorrow we'll come back and treat it like a Tuesday practice and just run the week until it's game day.
Terry, what kind of season do you think Amani had?
I thought Amani had an outstanding season. I thought he was well deserving to be first team All Big Ten. You know, obviously he helped his draft stock. You know, coming into the season, they were saying he was probably a late round draft pick. I would imagine he's moved up. You know, some polls have him late in the first round, as late as the third round. So he's had a great season. You know, he's been a great leader. He's been a great teammate in the locker room. He's been a great guy for our room as the cornerbacks, and you know, he's worked really hard, and you know, he's reaping all the rewards of that hard work.
What would it mean to your program to have a very high draft pick as a cornerback? Because I don't think it's ever happened here, if I'm incorrect, at least not a first rounder.
Yeah, we haven't had a first rounder. You know, God willing, it would be a blessing, obviously, for Amani and his family. You know, it'd be a blessing for us as Penn State. You know, we're trying to build DB Nation here. You know, we've got 7 or 8 guys right now in the league that we've coached over the last 5 years, and this thing is growing, and it's growing fast. And you know, we're trying to get the best guys in and develop those guys, and you know, Amani would be a huge step for the program.
And where is the depth of the program at DB compared to when you got here and had to play guys as true freshmen?
Well, we have a lot of depth at the secondary position. You know, every now and then a freshman will come in and contribute. You know, like a few years back, John Reed came in and started his first game of freshman year. Now we don't have to require a guy to come in and step in right away unless he's blessed and talented that way. We've got a lot of depth. You know, Amani stepping out, Tariq will step right in, and then we got, you know, more freshmen coming in and some guys already in the program. So there's quite a bit of depth, you know, even at the safety position. So we're in a much better position than 5 years ago.
On Lamont Wade, where has he made the most progress since he got here, and what would you like to see improve?
Well, Lamont's grown mentally. You know, his mental game is a lot stronger than day one. Where we want Lamont to improve is just the consistency of being where you're supposed to be and making plays. You know, at the end of the day, this game is won by the guys that make the most plays or give up the most plays, and you know, we find consistency there. You know, he'll find himself on the field even more.
Is there any disappointment that he hasn't taken a starting job yet?
No,
because
no.
of the way, I mean, he came in as such a celebrated prospect.
No, it just talks about the depth that we have. You know, with Nick Scott, you know, he was a special teamer for 3 years, and you know, he came in and won the job this year as a senior, and you know, that's the beauty of coming to Penn State. There's competition everywhere.
How special of a person is Nick Scott? I mean, what's his family like? What does he kind of bring to the team besides his play?
Nick's really special to us. You know, he's a guy that's played on both sides of the ball. You know, he's been a special teams captain for us. He's been a defensive captain for us. When you talk about having a player that's an extension of the coaching staff in the locker room, you know, between he and Nick and Trace McSorley, those two guys really send the message into the locker room. It allows us as coaches to not have to police the locker room because you have two great leaders like that. And you know, Nick has been awesome for us as a coaching staff. He's been awesome to have him around. And then obviously on the field, he's been very, very productive.
Who are some guys that we have not seen that maybe you're getting a longer look at in the bowl practices and people should look out for in the spring back there in the secondary?
Yeah, in the secondary, you know, obviously, well, Garrett's already playing as a starter. Lamont Wade, we've talked about him. You know, he's going to get a shot. And at the cornerback position, you have Donovan Johnson. You know, he's going to get an opportunity to play. Zachariah McPherson will get an opportunity. Trent Gordon will get an opportunity. Jonathan Sutherland, you know, he's going to get a shot at the safety position. And then who knows which of those freshmen will come in and be a little bit more mature and mentally and physically more equipped.
From a recruiting standpoint, Terry, how important was it to get so much work done in the early signing period to be able to look ahead to the 2020 class?
It's essential, you know, so we signed 18 guys. We know those guys are coming on board into the family. We have 3 or 4 spots open, so now we can hone in and put all our focus on those guys and try to solidify February signing day. And you know, it helps us tremendously to know and to get those guys. You know, we have, I think, 14 total incoming guys in January, talking a couple walk-ons as well. But it's big for the program. It's the largest intake in January we've had, and it just tells you the direction that we're moving, and you know, things are only getting better at Penn State.
You can't address specific recruits from 2020, but how far ahead of the game are you with that class, given what you were able to do so far?
We're extremely far. We're probably the furthest ahead we've ever been. We're in those guys, on those guys right now, quite a few of them. I mean, so much so we're tapping into 2021s. But you know, recruiting is just getting so far ahead, and we're on top of it.
What can you tell us about the receivers for Kentucky? What do you have to look out for?
Well, obviously their slots are their top receiver targets. Their starter, obviously, you know, he's a Youngstown kid. He's really talented. He's super fast, super quick. He's their leading receiver. His backup is the second leading receiver on the team. So they try to get those guys the ball in space. They're outside guys. They don't do a lot with the underneath stuff, but they'll take shots down the field. And obviously, with Kentucky, they start with the run game. You know, they have a talented running back, and obviously their quarterback is a dual threat guy. So we got to contain those two guys first and make sure that number one in the slot doesn't get loose with anything. Just wrap him up and contain him.
Coach said you guys are going to have a little bit of, you know, James said you guys are going to have a little bit of fun this week. You know, you guys have different events planned. What are you looking forward to the most, I guess, with this trip down here? Obviously the game itself, but outside of the game. Outside
of the game, Universal Studios. You know, it's always fun to go to the amusement parks. It's always fun to see our guys, who are a bunch of 18 to 22, 23-year-old kids, show that they're truly kids and have fun and run around the park, jumping on rides and just enjoying the trip. And you know, this is the fruits of our labor. You know, we worked really, really hard during the off season. We worked hard all season, had a great season, and these guys get a chance to enjoy themselves for this week.
And along those lines, I think you're mentioning that you're going to Best Buy tonight to kind of do something with the guys like that. I mean, how awesome is that for you to see these guys, you know, like you said, as kids, get to run around and have a little bit of fun with them?
Yeah, it's another exciting event that the Bowl has prepared for our guys. You know, we're thankful to the Citrus Bowl. You know, those guys are giving these guys a lot of money at Best Buy to go spend, and you know, it's just a tremendous time for our guys. They're really excited and ready to go spend some money.